Hello once again, watchers of good TV. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my college dorm room. This is the review for Community Season 5. I know that I'm a few weeks behind on this review, but if you saw how late the other ones were, it's not really too bad. The reason that I'm so far behind is because I started watching the series from the first episode in the beginning of April, and now I am caught up. I am fulfilled in terms of Community, and I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next 4 months or however long it's gonna be till season 6 hits. Let's talk about season 5 really quick. Before I do that, I want to touch on seasons 1 through 4 just really quickly. Seasons 1 through 3 really well done. Really good comedic feel. I like how they all kind of intersect story and have callbacks to certain elements of different episodes. I thought that was really appealing and something which made the show really unique. I like the nerdiness factor which is in all these episodes in terms of references to like Doctor Who, Inspector Spacetime, and just a bunch of different things like Dungeons and Dragons, Game of Thrones. All these cool different things. All the chemistry of the characters was really neat and unique. It started off a little rough and then got really good after a while. Season 4, kind of a gray area. It was okay for me. I didn't mind watching it too terribly much. I know that there was a lot of people that really disliked it because the creator got kind of fired from being his usual executive producer position, and so season 4 kind of dwindled a little bit. I thought it got better towards the end when they started introducing more elements of the Darkest Timeline bit. That's another thing that I really liked as a callback that they did. And I'm talking really fast because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. So I would really like to see more of the Darkest Timeline bit if they get a 6th season, and maybe more so in the movie, because I thought that the ending battle between the Darkest Timeline and the Good Timeline was really rushed and kind of boring because it was like boom, 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 alright, done. So, season 5. Yeah, go me. Okay, season 5 takes place about a year after the events of season 4, in which everyone is essentially graduated by now. Jeff Winger has been an attorney for hire for about a year, and it's going terribly for him. We open with the first scenes of his new life. He is poor, he's losing all of his property, his evil business partner guy, his ball and whatnot. He offers Jeff a job in trying to sue Greendale for all it's worth for ruining his future with the 4 years that he spent there. Jeff Rosen goes there with the intention to do this, and then realizes, oh hey, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to help them instead, and so he helps them, and it's all good and dandy. And then we have the setup for a new show. Everyone else's careers have gone kind of, they're all back, they're taking classes again, which is kind of unrealistic. You're not going to go back to community college to take more classes. But that's how the show goes. And that's the only way to get them back. They are also all on a Save Greendale committee. So throughout the majority of the season, we see them doing little helpful acts around the school, whether it be fixing a pinup board, I don't remember what it's called, or fixing a vending machine and stop it from tipping over on somebody. Just a bunch of different things that the school has not done to fix itself and to make it kind of more applicable and make sure it does not get shut down in some sense of the word. Really quick, actors. Joel McHale as Jeff Winger, fantastic actor, really comedic, really like him. He is the central star of the show, essentially, and he does a really nice job. We see him go from first episode where he is a douche and guy who just wants to be there to get girls and just really quick go through his necessary education to become a lawyer again, and he ends up being a family member and a member of this group and this community, and this is where he ends up sticking around, and it's where he eventually calls home. We also have Gillian Jacobs as Britta Perry, and she also does a really good job. She's an activist. She's trying to support a bunch of these causes which are supposed to help the world. She never does a good job in this. A term is developed to equate her name, Britta, or Britta something, with messing something up, and that becomes something which is a running joke throughout the show. She also, really good actress, really good job as her character on the show. Danny Pudi, Abed Nadir, he is probably the character that I enjoy watching the most, just because he's more comedic. He is this guy who nobody really understands, and he lives in his own little world, which is concerning at some points, but he's also really neat as a character, and I really enjoy him in terms of the references that he makes and all this type of stuff. Yvette Nicole Brown, I don't know if I'm saying her first name right, I apologize if I'm not, but she is Shirley Bennett, and she does a really good job in her role as well. She is a religious lady, and she incorporates that a lot of the time, but when she has to kind of get down to the nitty gritty, you see the badass in her come out, and it's really neat to see it in this character, and we see it a lot in season 5 as well. Alison Brie, she is very gorgeous. She is a kind of younger member of the group. She is probably at this point around like early 20s some point, and because she got out of high school and she went right into the community college, and that's where we met her in season 1. It's been 5 or 6 years, and so yeah, she's probably in her mid-20s at this point as a student on the show, and she is a really good actress, and you see her mature because she is kind of the most girlish person or immature character kind of on the show from the get-go, and you see her kind of go through all these transformations and become the cool, sophisticated character that she is now, and it's really neat to see. Ken Jeong, Senior Chang, he is a great character. I like the transformations that he goes through, and in that the fact that each season he has a different role on the show. Season 1 he was a Spanish teacher. Season 2 he was a security guard? Yeah, maybe? I don't know. He does a bunch of different things on the show, and it's really neat to see him progress. I really liked him at the end of season 3 where he essentially took over the school. I thought that was a really neat persona for him, and we got to see him kind of on season 4 where he was portraying Kevin. I thought that was kind of dumb. But season 5, he's back to his regular Chang-esque self, and I think that's really where he fits a lot better on the show. Donald Glover, Troy Barnes, he's essentially Abed's sidekick slash co-partner in a bunch of the shenanigans that they get involved in. He was a really cool guy in high school, but he really didn't really care about it. He was a basketball star or a football star, one of them, and he faked an injury to get out of a scholarship, and so he ended up at the community college. Andy and Troy ended up going to the same high school together. They never really intermingled that much, and so it's kind of interesting chemistry between them. And yeah, he's just a really neat character who assists Abed in all of his shenanigans. Chevy Chase is not in season 5 at all. He makes a very small cameo at the very beginning of it, and then he is gone because he quit the show, and so he is only in it for a cameo. And then in the 4th episode, I think, he gets killed off as a character, and they have his funeral, and they have this whole thing. So it's really nice that they actually got rid of the character and then just keep making up excuses for why he wasn't around anymore. And so yeah, Chevy Chase, good character. I enjoyed him in seasons 1 through 4. You kind of see him grow a little bit as a character and become kind of more sensitive to some things, but not really. And then lastly, Jim Rash, who is Dean Pelton. He is probably one of the most hilarious characters on the show because he always comes up with a different type of outfit in each episode, and it's all very strange and confusing sometimes. And he's just a really neat character, and he really cares about Greendale, which is the community college that this place is taking place in. Yeah, Dean Pelton. Really good character, and really good in season 5. So, like I said, season 5 deals with a lot of things. The main 2 things that it really touches on really deeply is, well, not really deeply, but spends an episode dealing with is the first, like I said, Pierce Hawthorne's death, and we see an episode dealing with that and a lie detector test. And then the episode after that, Pierce leaves Troy his essential wealth as long as he takes a ship right across around the world in a year. And so Troy agrees to this, and that is where he departs the show. And they have an episode where they play a game of lava, where the floor is essentially lava, and the last person standing gets $50,000. And this is kind of Abed's way to say goodbye to Troy and let his friend go. And so that was really neat. The rest of the show progresses just like any other season of Community. It has a bunch of different shenanigans. It has some new characters, some old characters. The guy who played Mike in Breaking Bad, whose name I don't remember right now, he is in it. He is really good, and he's a really interesting character to have them introduced. I look forward to seeing him in season 6. Finale right now, so if you have not caught up on season 5 of Community, probably don't watch this bit, skip to the end if you don't want to have spoilers. Season 5, finale. Greendale is getting shut down, and everyone essentially abandons hope for a while. Jeff and Britta have decided that we have to kind of make something about these last 5 years count, so let's get married, because that's the smartest thing anyone's ever done. And so they get engaged, essentially, and they're about to run off and get married when Abed, Annie, and Dean Pelton all show up with a treasure map, essentially, locating some great treasure that's underneath Greendale. Get to part 2 of this now, where they go around, they investigate, they find this trapdoor which leads down into this unknown part of Greendale, in which they find the guy who founded Greendale. And since Greendale's about to get bought by Subway and turned into a giant Subway, I don't know why they hate Subway in this show. Yeah, long story short, they end up saving Greendale. They have all this money, and because the guy who founded Greendale is still alive and he holds the deed to it, they can't really make any decisions without his go-ahead. So Greendale is safe for the moment. It's still very much bankrupt. It's still kind of it's a good college in terms of education and whatnot, but it's not really up to protocol very much in terms of a college. And so I wouldn't be terribly surprised if in the sixth and assumably final season of this show they do end up having something happen which leads into the movie, assuming the 6 seasons in a movie thing happens, in which Greendale might actually end up either being destroyed or shut down at some point. I don't know. Or expanded into an actual college. You never know. As a season, and I guess as a show, because I've essentially talked about the whole thing at this point, I've really enjoyed Community. I really liked the 5th season. I thought that it kind of brought back the old feel that episodes, or that seasons 1 through 3 had with them. And so, yeah, Community season 5, very good, in my opinion. Oh my god, I talked really fast in this episode. That's my thoughts. Leave your thoughts on Community Season 5 in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. Make sure to buy my short story called The Bridge on Amazon. Link is down in the description down here if you're interested. I'd appreciate that a lot. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell. And as always, keep on watching. 6 seasons of the movie.
Give me some more time and a dream.